Hi students, my name is Erlinda S. Apoli. Welcome to the session 4 of the course Basics of English. This session continues on with a series of the lesson Parts of Speech. Specifically, we will tackle the topics on adjectives and verbs. Are you ready? Let's start. Let me elucidate you on these topics. First is adjectives. Adjectives are words that describe the qualities or states of being of nouns. For example, enormous, dog-like, silly, yellow, fun, fast. They can also describe the quantity of nouns. For example, many, few, millions, 11. There are characteristics of adjectives. First is descriptive adjective. These adjectives elaborate or describe nouns or pronouns. For example, Julie is an honest young girl. Butuan is a large city. In these sentences, we have the adjectives honest, young, and large that describe the nouns Julie and Manila. Next is adjectives of quantity. This tells how much or how many. For example, I need 3 white flowers for the wedding. I can only eat just half of the rice bowl. In these sentences, we have the adjectives 3 and half that tell us how many the flowers are for the wedding and the rice of the bowl. The last characteristic of an adjective is that it has degrees. These are absolute, comparative, and superlative. Most one-syllable words or adjectives use er, r, or est. Most two-syllable adjectives use ier, iest, and multiple syllables add more or most. For example, pretty, prettier, and prettiest. Small, smaller, and smallest. Handsome, and more handsome. In this case, you use the word more to compare nouns because the word handsome has multiple syllables. The next topic we are going to delve into is verb. Verbs are considered as the heart of sentences and clauses because they are indispensable to the formation of a complete thought. In function, verbs tell you what the subject of a sentence or clause is doing or being. It is important to understand that a verb can express a thought by itself, of course, with the subject being implied and understood. An example of this is when we say believe or run. Verbs have various types. First is action verb. From the word itself, this word describes the action done by nouns or pronouns. For example, Dan hit the ball. The cat purred softly. In these sentences, we have the action verbs hit and purred. Second is the linking or be verb. These verbs show a state of being. It connects the subject to other phrases. Examples of these are am, is, are, was, were, be, and been. We have these following sentence examples. Number 1. Rabi was late to his English class. The verb here is was, which is a linking verb that connects the subject to its subject complement, late, which describes Rabi's state. The second is writing the thesis was Jeremiah's last activity. The linking verb here is was that links the subject to its subject complement, Jeremiah's last activity, which identifies what writing the thesis was. Lastly is the helping verbs. Helping verbs are also known as auxiliary verbs. They assist the main verb in expressing tense, mood, or voice. They come before the main verb in a verb phrase. Examples of helping verbs are am, is, are, was, were, be, being, been. Have, has, had, do, does, did, will, shall, would, should, can, could, may, might, must. Here are example sentences. I am eating my breakfast. The helping verb am helps express present progressive tense. The main verb is eating. The second example is, Sheila has taken the admission test. The helping verb has helps express present perfect tense, and the main verb is taken. The next topic is the tenses of verbs. There are 6 tenses of verbs. Let us discuss them one by one. The present tense. The present tense describes actions happening now or regularly. For example, he sings. This means he is currently singing or does it as a regular activity. The second is past tense. It refers to actions completed in the past. For example, May finished her task. It indicates that May completed her tasks at some point before now. Past tense is useful for narrating events that have already occurred. The third type is future tense. Future tense indicates actions that will happen in the future. For example, they will arrive tomorrow. It shows that the arrival is scheduled or expected to happen tomorrow. Future tenses are useful for making plans, predictions, or discussing future events. Number 4 is perfect tense. It shows actions that were completed before another point in time. Example, Rex has eaten. This means Rex ate at some indefinite time before now. Perfect tense is formed with have or its variations plus past participle of the main verb and is useful for describing actions that have a clear connection to the present or a specific past moment. Number 5, progressive tense. It shows ongoing or incomplete actions that are happening now. Example, Flor is eating a banana cube. It indicates that Flor is currently in the process of eating a banana cube. Progressive tense is formed with be and its conjugation or variation am, is, and are, plus the present participle, verb plus ing, and is useful for describing actions in progress or ongoing activities. Number 6, perfect progressive tense. It combines the aspects of both perfect and progressive tenses. Example, they have been waiting. It shows that they started waiting in the past and are still waiting now. Perfect progressive tense is formed with have been or its variations plus the present participle or verb plus ing and is useful for describing actions that started in the past, continue into the present, and may continue into the future. The last topic you need to know about verbs is that it can be regular or irregular. Regular verbs follow a predictable pattern for forming their past tense and past participle. For example, the verb want. The present form is want, the past is wanted, and the past participle is still wanted. The next verb is close. The present form is close, the past is closed, and the past participle is closed. In these examples, the past tense and past participle are typically formed by adding ed to the base form of the verb. Irregular verbs, however, do not follow the standard rules for past tense and past participle formation. Example: go, went, gone. Another one: begin, began, begun. In these examples, the past tense and past participle forms are unique and often irregular, requiring memorization. That is it for our lesson today. I hope you have learned adjectives and verbs to heart. Don't forget to answer the quiz on this topic. Thank you very much for listening.